you doing, everyone? This is Larry Jeepingmo, and today we're going to be at the Lone Star Jeep Invasion in Conroe, Texas. So come along with us as we see the show. It was pretty windy for the event. We talked to quite a few vendors while we were there, got some pretty good interviews. Seen this set up by Rock Crawler, which was pretty impressive. Loved that big blue JT. Everybody was running on 42-inch tires. Seems that that's the new norm. So we walked around, looked at quite a few more of these pretty nice looking rigs. You could tell they're pretty flexed out. I tried to get an interview with the RAVPower guy. It just didn't work out. And Fishbone had this pretty nice setup on the inside. Definitely love their lights. Pretty nice builds as well. Alright, so we're here with Tony with the Jeep Talk Show. And Tony's going to tell us a little bit about the podcast.
So, it is a show. We try to stay away from the word podcast because that makes it sound cheap. Everybody's got a podcast. We got a show. 10 years we've been doing this show. And I even got a big-ass Jeep talk show sticker to prove it. So you gotta come listen to the show or be a Zoom people like Larry here is. You can actually watch the show while we record it. Every Thursday night around 9:45 p.m. Central Time. Hope to see you there.
Okay, and where do we find the show at?
JeepTalkShow.com. Right here.
Okay. All right, thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running.
All right, so we're here at the Hamburgers Supercharger booth, and this is PK. He's going to tell us a little bit about his system. This is a, what year JT? 20?
It's a 21 Mojave.
It's a nice looking rig.
Thanks. Basically, just give you a quick little rundown on our supercharger setup. This setup on our stage 1 kit, it's 425 horsepower, 365 foot-pounds of torque. We include a 3-year 36 powertrain warranty with it. The one thing that we are heads and tail above anybody else is drivability wise. Thing shifts perfectly, drives perfectly, tows perfectly. You've got a couple pounds of boost to pull out in the traffic instead of all instantaneously on at 2400 RPM. It's just a lot nicer drive. You know, you can let your girlfriend, your wife drive it, or and not have to worry about them having a power adder and being too much for them to drive. So it's a pretty unique setup. It's about half the size of a standard supercharger compared to some of the competition. So it's very efficient setup. So half the size, but it spins twice as fast. So it's a pretty unique setup. We have it in 2 options. We have the stage 1, which is 425 horsepower. Stage 2, which goes up to 450 horsepower. It doesn't have a powertrain warranty, but it's a safe tune and all that for the people that want to, have a lot more power. So it brings it up to 450 horsepower. So it gives you bigger injectors, transmission tuning, and it just gets more aggressive.
Okay.
So the only requirements to do the stage 2 is 513 gears, 37-inch tires, and dual exhaust setup. So that's the optimal combination we just figured out for doing the stage 2 setup.
I assume JL and JT both?
Correct. Yep. Right. We also do JK kits as well. It's just a unique setup. It's probably more closer to a turbo than it is a supercharger, just because of the 90,000 RPM speed it goes at. And the other thing too is it's very unique because there's no standard, cut gears that make noise, that kind of thing. So this planetary drive, most similar to setup, uses a non-Newtonian fluid that actually changes properties, so allows us to be able to spin it to 90,000 RPM and be half the size of anybody else out there.
Okay.
And the other thing, in comparison, everybody's on the hot ticket for a Hemi swap, but dollar for dollar horsepower setup, our setup is going to be better. $15,000 to $25,000 cheaper than a Hemi swap, like as in our flyer over there. It's just a real nice setup without spending 30 grand, and it's just amazing drivability.
Very nice, very clean setup.
But that's about it.
Okay.
We got all the kits are in stock, and we have about 100 of them around the world.
And PK, what's your website?
www.hamburgersuperchargers.com.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. They had quite a few dealers that would install the supercharger factory with warranty. All right, so we're here with Scott with Texas Truck Works, and Scott's going to tell us a little bit about his company.
Texas Truck Works, it's really been our business since 1979. Been in our new facility since 2016. We've got about 14,000 square feet, and you know, it's a Jeep world. I mean, we do a lot of trucks, but Jeep's what drives us. Got a lot of nice Jeeps here this weekend at the Lone Star Jeep Invasion in Conroe, and hope you guys can come out. I mean, we got a new JK. This guy just won the My Top on this one.
That's an automatic top, isn't it?
Automatic top. It's just so nice, you know, especially here in Texas. You don't know if it's going to be 80 degrees and sun shining or raining and cold. So you just push a button and the top goes open. It just makes it a very nice Jeep. And you know, do a lot of V8 Hemi conversions, LT, LS swaps. But you know, the normal Jeep's our daily world. The guy that gets in it every day, and you know, he's running Nitto tires and 35s or 37s and Spicer U-joints and Dana axles. Just a nice vehicle, you know, just something you can drive every day.
Sounds good. And where can they reach you at?
TexasTruckWorks.com, and we're in Magnolia, Texas.
Oh, I appreciate it, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you.
This was a really good interview with Dirty Acres. Unfortunately, the sound was messed up, but you'll see a lot more from Dirty Acres on this channel. I think you'll like it. But after this, she does an install, so let's go check that out. Yeah.
Hey everyone. Alright, we are going to show you how to install. This is Sean's Gladiator, and he has the forward-facing trail cam, so it's a little different. So it's a big deal if you have the camera or you don't have the camera on the newer JLs and the JT, because there's actually a tubing line that goes through here. So we have to cut a hole in the insert so that your line can go through.
Okay.
So when you open your hood, you have these 6 holes in the top of your grill. It goes all the way across and then all the way back up here. You want to pull these pins out of the holes. So you would
like
pull...
a trim removal tool, something like that?
Yep, exactly. Or we just use, honestly, a flathead screwdriver.
Okay.
It works good too. These come out in 2 pieces, so just make sure you keep both pieces. Super hard install here. You ready? You just pull it.
Drum roll.
Yep, like this. And this one has the line in it. There. Okay.
Okay, so you just pull it forward.
So, for the Gladiator and the JL, you need to remove the factory mesh that's in here.
Okay.
And that's held on by a couple screws and a couple clips.
Okay.
You can keep all the pieces so that you can re-put it back in later if you want to.
Okay.
I haven't had anyone do that, but you never know.
Right.
So, you would want to take the grill off for that, lay it down on the floor with a towel or a blanket or something so that you're not scratching up the front end of your Jeep.
Right, that one's got the hole in it for the camera.
Yeah. This one has the camera.
Okay.
So, pull it forward, put it in place, make sure it's lined up where you want it to be, push everything back. There's clips on the bottom of your grill, so you just want to bop it with your hand. The pin's back, drop the first pin in, and then the second pin in.
Okay.
On all 6.
Push them back in and that's
Close
it.
your hood and you're done. The JK
Okay.
install takes about 5 minutes tops.
Okay.
The JL, JT original install is max 20 minutes.
Okay.
After that, we can double side it. So if you wanted it double side, you just take it, you just do what I just did, pull it forward, take it, flip it, put it back in.
So you can put it on both sides if you want.
2 minutes, absolutely. Yep. Sky's the limit.
Right.
Yeah.
And once again, how do they locate you?
We are at www.dirtyacres.com. We're also on social media, all the Insta, Snap, Face, Twits, everything. So
Okay.
just give us a Google and we'll be there.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, I appreciate it, Dawn. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
We had a good conversation with the crew from PSC. We went over everything we would need to put the 1-ton axles underneath our JL. It's a pretty interesting swap. It gets rid of the electric pump, replaces the whole system, gets rid of the aluminum steering box, and replaces it with this cast iron one. Pretty solid setup. It's all bolt in, and he went over what cylinder I would need for the axle once I replace it. They also make kits for the older Jeeps. They got them for the TJs and LJs. And they even have a big bore kit for the JK. I can see where that'd be nice with the bigger tires. I know a lot of people who run them and very happy with them. All right, so we're here at PBI Customs, and these gentlemen are going to tell us a little bit about their products.
Yeah, we custom fab anywhere from bumpers, fenders, tire carriers, door seals, anything metal you can think of. You can think of it, we can make it.
Okay.
Start to finish, powder coat, everything. Anything you'd like.
All local here in Texas?
All local here in Texas. We ship all over the United States. This one we did the inner fender liners. These were done about a little over a year ago. We did the foot pegs, magnetic door seals, yeah, the dash bar.
Yeah, I was looking at that dash bar. It's pretty nice.
We've got tire carriers, but we make them to your size.
Our tire carrier with the tank holder on the back.
JL and JK or?
JL, JK,
Pretty much any model.
YJ.
This is our delete. It's been on here, same as the fender liners.
Our spare tire delete with the flagpole holders.
For a CB mount, you do have your reverse light in here. Reverse light bracket if you wanted that. And then a bumper that he would
Flush mount lights, bumper. Yeah, this will go up to a 42, but this is a 37 in there right now.
And what's your website?
PBICustoms.com.
Okay. And I'm sorry, you.
I'm David.
David and Keith. This isn't shirt say. All right. All right. So if you guys want something custom, check out PBI Customs, and they'll take care of you. The show and shine had a pretty good turnout. A lot of pretty cool Jeeps there. Anything from stock rigs to pretty well built ones. Some nice trucks, even some older rigs there. So if you enjoyed these interviews, next week we have quite a few more. Some pretty interesting vendors, some pretty cool builds. And before it's all over, we'll meet Big Sexy. So if you enjoyed it, check out next week's video or some other videos on this channel, either in the garage or on the trail. We'll see you there. This is Jeepingmo.